Hey yo! Hello everybody, it's me Nick the Brick, and today I have a very exciting video for you, and that is ranking all Ninjago seasons out there. And yes, that does actually include Day of the Departed in pilot season as well, so it's gonna be a long one. I mean, I usually don't really do that much content actually related to this show, but Island just dropped a few days ago in English. I'm proud to say that for the first time ever, I watched all of the Ninjago installments under a year, which is very impressive. And yeah, my opinion really changed on some stuff, and yeah. Also keep in mind that this is just my own opinion. If your list is just totally different, that's more than fine, so I would really like to hear that in the comments down below. Yeah, let's respect everyone's opinion, and yeah, let's just not argue in the comments down below. That's all I wanted to say, so now let's get started. So at the last place we have the season 11, aka The Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu, which is actually the first season to be made by new writers, and sadly I'm just not the biggest fan of new Ninjago. I don't think any of those newer seasons are that great, but I mean we can still be thankful that the show is still going, so at least that is something. But regarding season 11, there's just so much filler. It's the longest season there, but it's also rushing on the actual story and just including random episodes like anime and some other stuff that just don't belong there. And yeah, overall I think it's safe to say that it is the worst Ninjago installment ever made. So the number 15 might surprise you a little bit, but it is the Island, aka the latest installment to the whole show. I mean, I gotta say, I'm definitely slightly disappointed by how it turned out. I mean, sure, you can't really expect much from a 45-minute runtime, but then just don't call it a season, alright? I mean, I'm slightly triggered by that, because Day of the Departed isn't called a season, but it's actually even longer than Island, because it doesn't have the separate intros. I mean, it's just a small bummer, nothing really that would change my opinion about this season, but it was extremely rushed, so many childish dialogue, ruining the existing characters, introducing new ones which also aren't great at all. So yeah, sadly I'm just not the most satisfied with how this installment turned out. So yeah, I really hope season 15 is going to be better. At number 14 we have Day of the Departed, and it's actually the first installment based on Cole, which is nice I must say, since he's my favorite ninja. Same as I said with the Island, there's nothing much to expect from 45-minute runtime, but at least it was a bit more enjoyable than Island, I wanna say. I mean, at least it kinda had a unique story, and I must say the concept was very interesting. If it was like 2 hours long, I think that would be a very good season, but I don't know, there were also some bummers to it. Maybe it was even boring at some times, like not that much, but still definitely not the best installment out there, especially considering it was made by the old writers. So if we continue the list, at number 13 we have the Prime Empire, aka season 12. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually really enjoy this season. If you aren't trying to be nitpicking, I think you can definitely enjoy this a ton, but I don't know, there were just some stuff that didn't really feel right. It was also like lacking at some errors at the filler Detective Zane episodes, and we got some other stuff instead of some other things that would make the season way better. I mean, I really love the concept of ninja being stuck in a video game, but maybe considering there were just so much stuff happening, ninja going through all the different levels, all of that kinda ruined the opportunity for some more character development, which is very important. Also, the finale could have been way better for sure. So overall, very nice season, but sadly I just can't really put it higher than that. So at number 12 we have the season 13, aka the Master of the Mountain. And yeah, you might think this is a bit low ranking for this, but personally I just don't really find it that enjoyable. I mean, it is slightly overrated, I even wanna say. I mean, sure, it's Cold Season, who's my favorite ninja, but that just doesn't really change the fact that it is just not as good as it could have been. I mean, like, the first third of the whole season felt really awkward, and we also received more filler with that enemy episode as well as the falling episode, which also I really don't see what was the point of that. But yeah, I actually think the last third of this season was absolutely strong. It is very close to the old Ninjago, I must say, and that finale was absolutely stunning. So yeah, overall, very interesting season. Definitely the best one out of the new Ninjago. And yeah, I really hope season 15 will be on the similar level as that. On number 11, we have season 7, aka Hands of Time. This is a season that a lot of people don't like. I mean, the majority considers it to be like the second worst installment out there, which I definitely can't agree with. I mean, I just wanna say I find it slightly underrated, nothing more than that. But as a whole, this season was actually very interesting. I think the story was actually very nice. I mean, few episodes were pretty weak, I must say. I think the premiere as well as the finale were very good. So yeah, as I said, very unique season, and if you have mixed feelings on it, I definitely recommend rewatching it. It might help you change the opinion about it, which is exactly what happened to me. Number 10, we have the pilot season, aka the first installment of the whole series. And I mean, we can all agree that it was very nice for what it was, a very nice introduction to the characters and all of that. And yeah, it's also very nostalgic for sure, obviously, which is also the very big reason for why people like it so much. Yeah, I just think it was very enjoyable in general, a nice start for a series for sure. Don't really have anything more to say. So at number 9, we have season 2, aka the final battle, and this is definitely a very nice classic season for sure. I mean, it was actually supposed to be the first ending of Ninjago, but by its popularity, the show is thankfully still running. I mean, you can argue that this season has tons of filler as well, but that filler was actually enjoyable and I don't really mind it. Actually, if you compare it to something with what we had with season 11, and the last 5 episodes or something were just so amazing. Definitely one of the best arcs in the whole show. Actual finale is absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, overall, a very nice season. If it would focus on the actual island arc a bit more, I think it would actually end up way higher, but still a very strong installment for sure. So I think we are already halfway through. Number 8, we have March of the Oni, aka season 10, and it is the final season of the Oni Dragon trilogy, which is just one of the best things that ever happened to Ninjago. But yeah, regarding the actual season, I think the 422 episodes actually work nicely. I think 6 or 8 episodes would actually make this one of the best seasons out there, especially if they would focus more on the Oni and something more on that aspect. But yeah, in this season I just really loved all this stuff. Lloyd was very awesome. Obviously he got tons of development. So did the Emperor version of Garmadon, which I actually really love. And this season also includes a legendary scene, which is the Cole's Fall, which is my second favorite scene in the whole show, believe it or not. I don't know, maybe I wish it was explained why Cole survived the fall a bit more, at least in the show, and not by making some excuses on Twitter, which aren't even that good. So yeah, very nice installment, pretty underrated as well. So now we are entering something that I call the amazing age of seasons, and at number 7 we have season 9, aka Hunted. It is the second installment of the Only Dragon trilogy, and also something really about this season is that it kinda has 2 stories going on, with one being in Ninjago City and with another one being in the first room. And I also have to note that it is the second darkest season in the show. Maybe maybe it could even be the darkest. I mean, there were just quite a few very shocking moments that made it very awesome and also more appropriate for the older audience. And the last thing about this season is the amazing finale, definitely one of the best ones we ever got in the series, I must say. So yeah, very awesome season in general, and as you can see, I'm really a big fan of Ninjago trilogy. At number 6, we have Season 5, aka Possession. I mean, that can be slightly low for some of you. I mean, I can't deny it's an amazing season. I mean, obviously it is. But as a whole, I just didn't really enjoy it that much. Maybe I think it's also a bit overrated in a way. But yeah, it's still very awesome season. The first 2 episodes were an absolute blast. The middle was also pretty decent, I wanna say. This season also includes the Grave Danger, which is one of my favorite episodes in the whole show. And the 2-part finale was alright. I don't know, most of people really seem to love it, but personally I just think it was alright. Probably the worst part of the whole season if I'm being honest, which can be a very unpopular opinion for sure, but yeah, very awesome season. Might not be that enjoyable for me, but I can't deny it's still very strong for sure. So now we are entering the top 5 with the season 1, aka Rise of Snakes, and that season was an absolute blast. Obviously it was the first one, so it's very nostalgic as well. Yeah, everything about it just worked so nicely, like it really developed the characters we know to this day. Well, for me it's just a very nice, longer version of the pilots, which I mean obviously makes sense because it's the first season and it has to do quite many different things, which is pretty hard, which is also kind of the reason why shows with the weak first seasons seem to fail. I mean, it's an absolute classic, that's all pretty much what I can say, and I'm also pretty sure it might be the most popular Ninjago installment out there. There were just so many fans back then. I still know some people that watched the show from the beginning but kinda left in the season 1/2 era, so but yeah, overall such a classic, can't really say more than that. So at number 4 we have season 3, aka Rebooted, and that's a very nice, very well made season. Some people just don't seem to like that much, which I definitely don't understand. I mean, I also wasn't like the biggest fan of it not too long ago, but then after rewatching it, I just became a huge fan of it, so maybe that can also work for you. But yeah, pretty much something good about this season is that it has 8 episodes and none of them are weak, which is very rare for pretty much any type of a show. I mean, there will sure be some weaker episodes and you gotta deal with it, and with this season, I don't think that was really the case. I mean, sure, it had that love triangle, which isn't the best thing out there, but to be honest, I think it was pretty necessary thing to do in the show, and I'm glad they did it back then. And don't let me even start with that mind-blowingly amazing finale, which has the Titanium Ninja episode, which is my favorite episode in the whole show. So yeah, I just can't really describe how good this season is. If you don't have the best opinion on it, I definitely recommend rewatching it. So now we are entering the top 3, pretty much the best of the best. Just can't really describe how close all of these seasons are. At number 3 we have the Skybound, aka season 6, which is probably the most controversial thing on this entire list. I mean, the whole season is really one of a kind. You will like it or just not. There are people that love it like me and people that kinda despise it, so definitely that one season that you can see on all different spots of the rankings by the community, and I mean, I just really can't explain how amazing it is. It also focused on Jay a lot, which was my favorite ninja back in the day. I mean, the concept of it was so great. Natakan was such a good villain. I actually really loved the finale. Some people just don't really seem to think it's that good, but personally, I'm all in. Pretty much the best they could do in my opinion. And also, maybe the only thing about it that kinda puts it on the number 3 spot is the prison arc, which also includes that not so good of a premiere called Infamous, which, definitely wasn't the best. But yeah, if they were improved those 3 episodes a bit, it would definitely be my favorite season. So, at the very well deserved second spot, we have Season 8, aka Sons of Garmadon. And I mean, sheesh, I absolutely love this season. It's also the darkest season out there, in my opinion. And it's just so mature with the plot and everything and different scenes. I think if the whole show was on that level of darkness, whatever you wanna call it, a lot more people would be fan of the show. Yeah, the actual storyline is so amazing. There just aren't any episodes that actually feel weak. And then we also have Sons of Garmadon, which are some of my favorite villains out there. There's just so many great stuff, I can't even explain how good they are. The only thing where this season is lacking is the finale, I wanna say. Which, I mean, you can easily argue that disconnected to the Haunted story a lot, which had one of the best finales out there, but that's not the same season, so you can't really take that as that good of an argument. I mean, just that's a very nitpicking thing, but in my opinion, this is the only thing that takes the #1 spot from it. As you were probably able to tell, at #1 we have Season 4, aka the Tournament of Elements, and it's a true masterpiece. Everything about it is perfect, like the whole concept of the plot is just so awesome that a lot of people can relate to, and also I like that it is focusing that we see a bit more of the other elemental masters, and I like how the first half is a bit more based on the actual competition, and then you have the second half, which is outstopping Chen, which is also very awesome. I mean, also so many new great characters get introduced, and none of them are bad by any means, which is very amazing, especially compared to what we have now. Twitchy team. But yeah, pretty much each episode of it is amazing. Pretty much there's no any other way to put it, I would say. Yeah, as I said, it's just a perfect season, and I'm glad it's my #1 on the list. So we finally made it through, and I must say I really enjoyed making this video. It's probably one of my favorites on the whole channel, believe it or not. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it as well. So if you did, I would highly appreciate a like, and also don't forget to click that subscribe button you had already. And also the last thing I would like you to do is to write down your list in the comment section down below. And that's pretty much it. Have a great day. Bye.